Some stories outgrow their origins, becoming legends that blur the line between fact and fiction. The tales of Ed and Lorraine Warren are just that, stories that have become larger than life. For decades, this Connecticut couple stood at the crossroads of belief and skepticism, their names synonymous with America's most infamous hauntings. They offered validation to those tormented by the unknown, giving comfort and hope in the face of fear. But with fame came scrutiny. For every believer, there was a skeptic questioning their motives and methods. Were the Warrens true defenders against evil, or skilled storytellers capitalizing on fear? Their legacy is a paradox, part folklore, part controversy. Their case files mix testimony, faith, and theatricality, leaving us to wonder what's real and what's myth. As another film chapter unfolds, the debate rages on. To understand their impact, we must look past Hollywood and examine the real people behind the legend. The Warrens' story endures because it taps into our deepest need to know what lies beyond the veil. In the world of the paranormal, seeing isn't always believing. The enigma of Ed and Lorraine Warren remains, unanswered and perhaps unanswerable. To understand the legend, you must first meet the people. Ed Warren, a self-taught demonologist and former Navy man, grounded their work in rules and religious doctrine. Lorraine Warren, a clairvoyant and light trance medium, claimed to sense and communicate with spirits. Together, they formed a partnership. Ed, the investigator; Lorraine, the spiritual guide. In 1952, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, aiming to bring order to a field dismissed as fringe. They offered help to families tormented by the supernatural, not to convince skeptics, but to aid the desperate. Their occult museum, filled with haunted objects like the infamous Annabelle doll, became a physical testament to their work. Each artifact told a story, some terrifying, some tragic. The Warrens' blend of investigation and intuition made them icons in the world of the unexplained. Their partnership was the foundation of their enduring legend. For every chilling tale, skeptics demanded proof. The Warrens' evidence, blurry photos, ambiguous recordings, and eyewitness accounts, rarely satisfied scientific standards. Critics pointed to their financial gains from books, lectures, and museum tours, questioning their motives. Some accused them of embellishing stories for profit, turning investigations into entertainment. Researchers re-examined their cases, often finding inconsistencies and suggesting the Warrens encouraged supernatural narratives over mundane explanations. Their work, rooted in religious belief, was seen as biased, seeking demons rather than seeking truth. Instead of objective inquiry, skeptics argued, the Warrens brought their own mythology to every case. The debate remains, were they uncovering evil or inventing it? The line between investigation and performance was never clear. The Amityville haunting is the Warrens' most infamous case and its most controversial. The Lutz family's terrifying claims became a media sensation, with the Warrens declaring the house a site of true evil. But soon, confessions of fabrication and motives of profit surfaced, casting doubt on the entire story. The Warrens stood by their account, insisting the haunting was real, even as evidence of a hoax mounted. Critics noted the Warrens arrived after the story had gone public, questioning their objectivity. Amityville became a spectacle, victims, investigators, and the house itself playing roles in a drama fueled by fear and money. For believers, the Warrens' word was enough. For skeptics, Amityville was a cautionary tale of manufactured myth. The truth remains lost in the shadows of tragedy and sensationalism. The Enfield poltergeist in London became another cornerstone of the Warrens' legend. The case involved bizarre events and frightened children, but also admissions of pranks and staged phenomena. The Warrens' involvement was brief, and according to primary investigators, largely opportunistic. Hollywood later recast them as central heroes, but in reality they were peripheral figures. This gap between fact and film reveals how the Warrens' legend was carefully curated. By inserting themselves into dramatic narratives, they amplified their myth. Critics saw exaggeration, fans saw courage. The Enfield case, like Amityville, is tangled in ambiguity, part prank, part fear, part performance. The truth is elusive, shaped as much by storytelling as by evidence. The Warrens' legend grew regardless of their actual role. Before Hollywood, the Warrens built their reputation on cases like the Perron and Smurl hauntings. The Perron family's ordeal in Rhode Island was a tale of relentless terror, attacks, apparitions, and a seance gone wrong. The Smurl family in Pennsylvania claimed demonic assaults and physical violence, drawing national attention. The Warrens investigated, concluding both homes were sites of powerful evil. These stories tapped into primal fears that our homes could turn against us. The Catholic Church's involvement lent credibility, but skeptics saw stress and suggestion at work. For believers, these cases proved the Warrens' courage. For doubters, they were cautionary tales of fear run wild. The line between haunting and hysteria was never clear. The Conjuring films transformed the Warrens into pop culture icons. These movies blend fact and fiction, amplifying the drama and horror for maximum effect. Ed and Lorraine are portrayed as heroic, loving, and unwavering, far simpler than their real-life counterparts. The films invent villains, condense timelines, and reshape events, blurring the line between truth and entertainment. For millions, the movies are the only version of the Warrens they know. The films rarely address skepticism or controversy, instead presenting their stories as undisputed truth. Hollywood has created a new mythology, turning messy, ambiguous cases into clear battles of good versus evil. The cinematic Warrens have eclipsed the real ones, simplifying their legacy for mass audiences. The power of film has ensured their legend will outlast the facts. The truth, meanwhile, is left in the shadows. As The Conjuring, Last Rites approaches, anticipation builds for the final cinematic chapter. The film promises a dramatic farewell, exploring themes of finality, faith, and mortality. It will follow the familiar formula: a haunted family, a malevolent force, and the Warrens as saviors. But as always, it's a story inspired by real events, not a documentary. The filmmakers will blend fact and fiction, crafting a narrative that fits their universe. The movie will cement the Warrens' legend for a new generation, even as it simplifies their story. Hollywood's version will be loud, clear, and compelling, regardless of historical accuracy. The final film invites us to ask, where does the story end and the myth begin? So who were Ed and Lorraine Warren, heroes, hoaxers, or something in between? To their supporters, they were compassionate helpers, offering hope to the terrified. To skeptics, they were skilled storytellers, quick to see demons and slow to seek evidence. Their legacy is dual saints in the world of belief, controversial figures in the world of science. The films have canonized them, but scrutiny reveals a more complicated truth. Their stories tap into our deepest curiosity about the unknown. It's fine to be entertained, but wise to remain skeptical. We must separate Hollywood from history and legend from fact. The enduring enigma of the Warrens is less about ghosts and more about our own need to believe. In the end, the real mystery is why we're so drawn to their story at all.